newly entered to the market. So if you talk about the in the processor segment now, everyone, we have Intel, Ryzen, Snapdragon and M1, M2 chip that is in the MacBook. So in the Intel also, in the Ryzen also, we have so many series, so many families, and not a single processor. So many families are there, so many segments are there, right? So it is very difficult to identify like which processor it is a powerful processor or which processor it is a what low end processor. So it is very much confusing actually. Like if suppose we are going to purchase a laptop, Anna, so then how to choose which processor it is like what best for us. So sometimes people will say the AMD is best. Sometimes people will say the Intel is best. Anna. So it is actually different perspective of different people. But we cannot say that which processor it is best by just saying the vendor name or by just saying the name of the processor. No, we need to go deep dive into the technical like what uh when you go for research, deep research. So there we have so many specs here. We need to check so many technical specifications. Then only we can identify whether a processor it is a high-end processor performance one or whether it is a low performance one. So different concepts are there. Okay. So if we're talking about the processor segment here, mostly what kind of processor we are having, that is your Intel, AMD Ryzen, Snapdragon, and Apple. Okay. See. So these are your different processors. Intel. And in the Intel we have these are called as families. And i3, Intel i3, i5, i7, i9. These are what? These are called as families. Okay. In the AMD Ryzen, we have similar to the Intel families also, like just Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, and Ryzen 9. If you talk about a Snapdragon, so let me put it here. Huh. Snapdragon, in the Snapdragon, we have different series, what we say 7C, 8C. 7C and 8C are the budget segment. Like in the budget laptops, it is coming. But if you talk about X Plus and X Elite, so these are in the like what? Good one. Okay. A little bit like what? Good processor. X Elite and X Plus. So it is coming in the slightly like what expensive one. Like if you go more than 50K, then you will get X Plus or X Elite. And in the Apple MacBook. So in the MacBook, we are having these many like M1, M2, M3, M4 is there. I think right now M4 is also launched. But mostly you will be having these kind of things. So in the Apple, it is having very simple structure like M1, M1 Pro, M1 Max, M1 Ultra, M2 Pro, M2 Max, M2 Ultra, like this. M3 Pro, M3 Max, M3 Ultra. So this is kind of like what specification or here this differences. But if you see in the Intel or AMD mostly, because Intel and AMD mostly they are in the Windows laptop. Either you will see Intel, either you will see AMD. Mostly nowadays. Okay. A Snapdragon it is also coming in the laptop, but see what problem is there with the Snapdragon? Since it is very new, so some compatibility issues are there. Snapdragon is not that much efficient or not that much compatible with each and every software as Intel and AMD are. So we are having still issues with the Snapdragon. That is why Snapdragon is not used nowadays. Like it will be used, I hope, like after some of the years it will be used. But as of now, if you talk about Intel and AMD are the dominating one. Okay. So we'll be talking about the Intel and AMD here. What kind of series, what kind of families are there? So this is the very simple here. The families we are having in the Intel, that is i3, i5, i7, and i9. And AMD Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9. This is your four families in both the processor. In the Intel, we are having an Intel Ultra series also. In the Ultra series, especially after the AI evolution, the Intel has launched their Ultra series. Basically, what is the unique thing about the Intel Ultra series? Now, Intel Ultra series, it is coming with a specialized unit called as NPU. Do you know about NPU, everyone? What is NPU? Any idea what is NPU? Anyone?
No, sir.
No idea?
Neural processing unit, which
Ah,
handles AI tasks.
exactly. Neural processing unit. So yeah, so NPU it is standing for Neural Processing Unit. Basically, Intel Ultra series is coming with this is unit, which is not available in the other families. Only in the Intel Ultra series. Basically, it is there to like what handle the AI related task. And whenever you are doing any AI based task, whatever any AI application you are running, any model training you are doing, or what machine learning you are doing, so whatever. So this NPU chip is there in the processor, which is handling or which is like what the AI based task will be assigned to the NPU. And, so in this manner, what happens? The more you get, more efficiency, okay, more performance. So that is very much like what efficient, very reliable, very stable performance, very good. And you are getting it. See, it is not like we cannot do the AI task in the normal families like i3, i7, or i9. We can do, but it will be not that much efficient as we are having in the Intel Ultra series, because in the Ultra series, dedicated chip is there for the AI task, and that is why. So Intel Ultra series is like Ultra 5, Ultra 7, Ultra 9. These are what families you can say. Okay. So Intel Ultra series are basically designed to provide better performance along with efficiency. Efficiency means like what? Battery, good battery life. Okay. Good power usage. Okay. So like what? If you go to search for a processor here now, you will see so many types of processor. I3, I7, but in that also you will see so many variations, right? So many variations are there. So if by like what mostly we do, mostly what we do, we directly select the processor based on the family. And if suppose anyone look for the i3 or i5, obviously anyone will say that i5 is better than i3, and i7 is better than i5, i9 is better than i5, right? i7, and so anyone will say, but it is not that much correct. Okay, not that correct. How, why I'm saying this? See, so many technical specifications are there, because we cannot directly decide that which processor it is, what fastest one, which is the slowest one. We need to check the speed of the processor. Okay, we need to check the number of cores. We need to check the series of the processor. We need to check the generation of the processor. So many things. So many things are there. Okay, mostly 4 to 5 things are there that we need to check in order to identify or in order to differentiate a processor based on the performance criteria. Okay, that is the thing here. So if you see an Intel processor here, you will see it's like so many numbers. Okay, in the Intel or in the AMD also you will see different numbers. So what those numbers they indicate? Like suppose when you see a Intel processor, like written like this, i5 1335U. Okay, when you will go to search for a laptop or for a processor, now you will see this kind of name. It will be written. It will be written as like suppose i7 12th generation, like suppose this. Okay, 1420H. 14. Let's suppose 1420H only. Okay. Okay. So this kind of name you will see. So what is the meaning of this whole name? Okay, so by seeing the name only, you can identify it is a good processor. It is a like what slow processor. Okay, how we can identify? See here when you will see the processor name, na first, so that is your family only. Whether it is i5, i3, whatever it is, it will be written representing your family, the first number. Okay, Intel Core family. And then the second number, like what? The first two number represent the generation. Okay, if suppose it is written as 12, that means it is a 12th generation. If suppose it is written as 13, it is a 13th generation. If suppose it is written as 14, that is a 14th generation. So right now, can you tell me like which is the latest generation, everyone? Going on latest generation of processor right now?
13.
13.
13? Okay. No, it is actually 14. Okay. Right now, 14th generation is the latest. 14th generation. Okay. In the Intel especially. Intel in the Ryzen also 14th generation is the latest one. Right now, 14th generation is not available in the lower segment. Like suppose if you go to purchase a laptop like below 50K, you will not get 14th generation easily right now. Because it is slightly new. It is slightly like newly introduced. Like before 2 to, like if we talk about before 6 months, before 6 to 7 months, 14th generation was introduced. So right now it is not available in every laptop. You will find it after 1 year. It will be available in each and every segment. Okay, either it is a budget segment, either it is a top end segment, either it is a medium segment. Okay, so 14th generation is the latest generation of your processor. Right now, just remember it. Okay, 14th is the latest. And what it is suggested that always go for the latest generation. Okay, whenever we go to purchase a processor, we always try to get a latest generation processor. Okay, that is always recommendable. Then these numbers basically after your generation, these numbers are basically representing your performance tier. Like basically, as much this number will be high, as much this number will be bigger, that much of better performance. Okay. After that, we have one more important, very important thing. That is your series. So this alphabet after your processor, it is representing the series of processor. So what kind of series we are having here in the processor? What kind of series? We have series like U series is there. Okay. Then we have P series. Okay. Then we have HS. Then we have H, and then we have HX. Okay. So one G series is also there, but it was found in the old laptops, not now. Okay, mostly nowadays, like these many series are there: U, P, HS, H, and HX. Okay. See, when you will see a processor name, now always you will see this alphabet. Okay, either you will see P, either you will see U, either H, either HS, either HX. So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning? See, if suppose you see U, so U means underperformance. U means underperformance. Underperformance. Underperformance means less performance. Less performance. Okay. Less performance, but high battery life, high efficiency. High efficiency. Okay. Efficiency means everyone battery. Okay. More battery life. So U series, it is providing low performance. Okay. But high battery life, more battery life. Okay. Then P series is there. P. So P is like what? Average. Okay. It is average. Average in battery also, average in performance also. Average in battery and like average efficiency, average performance. Okay. And when you come to H, okay, when we are introducing with the H series, so H series are designed for the high performance. Okay, H means high performance. High performance. So in the H series, we have the HS. So HS is the lowest one. Okay, HS is lowest. Then we have H. Okay, then we have the highest HX. So in the HS series, HS is the lowest. H is the medium. Okay, good performance. Okay, with a slightly low battery life. And in the HX. So when you see in the HX, highest performance. Highest performance. Okay. But lowest battery life. Okay. Lowest battery. Why? Because if the performance is high enough, then it is consuming so much power. Okay. It is consuming high power, and because of this low battery. Low battery life, whatever. Okay, low battery life in the sense I'm not talking about the entire battery span. No, I'm talking about like what? One charge cycle. Okay, one charge cycle. Suppose you charge from 1 to 100%, then how much time the battery will like what? Your laptop will be working. Okay, for how much time your laptop will be running on the battery. That is what I'm talking about. Okay, so these many series are there, and you can always check. Okay, like what is the alphabet after your processor? If suppose you have U series, that means your processor it is only designed for lightweight task. Okay, lightweight task. If suppose U is there, so U series it is for lightweight, not for gaming. Okay, not for gaming, not gaming, not for gaming. Okay, So U series, it is for lightweight tasks, like suppose you want to do web browsing or you want to run some MS Office applications. Okay. You want to do some basic task in your laptop. So then U series is sufficient. Okay. Then we have P series. So P series is slightly good performance than U series. Okay. But P series is also not for gaming. Okay. You cannot do gaming or video editing in the P series. Lightweight gaming you can do, little bit small games you can run, but still you cannot do gaming or like what video editing or some heavy like what performance tier application or performance based process you can run on P series or U series. Okay, that is slightly not possible. But when you have H series, okay, H series means HX, okay, H, HS or H or HX. So these are designed for like what high performance. So here you can do gaming. Okay, gaming is possible here. Gaming, video editing, graphics designing, whatever high end task we are doing here. Okay, everything is possible here because the core, like what, why these processors are designed? Basically, these processors are designed only for doing heavy based, like what, heavy end tasks. है ना? So if you want to purchase a like what processor and your priority is gaming or doing video editing, like this kind of heavy based tasks, then you must go for the H series processor. If suppose you have U or P series, then it is not possible. Okay, that is the thing here. Okay, so actually it is very important to understand the series here. Okay, based on the requirement. Okay, so if suppose there is a gamer, okay, who want to purchase a laptop, so if you are getting a U series, that is not recommended for that person. Okay, always you need to go for the H series processor whenever it is required to your priority is gaming or doing that kind of productive task. Okay, uh, but when you have a normal, so when if you are a corporate user, if you are a IT user, like suppose a normal corporate person who always work on the Excel or web browsing, okay, or basic task in a laptop, what it is done. So then U series or P series is sufficient. It is enough. No issue will be there. Okay. So that is the series concept here. Very important. Okay. So
So
always, huh,
there are F and K series are as well, right?
FK series, it is, no, mostly these series are there. Mostly UPS series. See, I don't know, like there is G series also. The G is there. I think if you're telling F and K is also there, but maybe those will be alphabet. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this alphabet you will always find. है ना? For an example, like suppose here it is written I5 12420H. Okay. You will see an alphabet like after the your process, like suppose I5 1335 U. Okay. I7 13420 P, like this. Okay. So always it is written at the last. Okay. So by that only you can identify whether that processor it is a high-end performance one, okay, heavy performance, or it is a for low performance. Okay, clear na everyone? This thing is clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Yeah. Okay. So now any one of you tell me like what is the series of your processor? Tell me.
U
Check in
series.
the U
U
series.
series.
Okay. U series.
U
Okay.
series.
U series or U series.
U series. Okay. Okay, so I hope you understand, है ना? Like how we can check the series. Just you can check just after the your name of the last. It is written at the last. Okay. Yeah. So series checking the series is very important in the processor. Okay. Then we have the second term here, generation. Generation is very important here. Generation. So as I told everyone, which is the latest generation right now going on?
14th.
14, sir.
14.
10 or 14.
Exactly, 14. So if you go to purchase a laptop right now, no, you will see mostly 13th generation and 14th generation laptops. You will not see 12th generation because 12th generation is slightly old nowadays. Okay. So in the generation is always changing. Generation is like after some time we will be having like 15 generation, then 16, 17. It will be going on like this. But as of now, 14 is the latest. So like 12th generation. Okay, always it is mentioned in the uh processor. Okay, 12th gen. Okay, 13th generation and 14th. And 14 is the latest right now. Okay. So always, and it is suggested to go with the latest generation. Okay, don't go with the like what old generation. Okay, because in the latest generation processor, always there is the more security, more compatibility with the new softwares. Okay, that is why, and better performance also. So any kind of bug is there, bug was there in the old processor, so it is everything is like what removed in the latest one. That is why generation checking is very important. Speed also you need to check. Speed. Okay, speed of your processor, very important. Okay, now how you can check this all of these things? See, all of these things you can check in the task manager. Always it is mentioned there. And so speed of the processor, it is measured in the gigahertz, everyone. Okay, measured in gigahertz. Gigahertz. Okay, for an example here, example 1.4 gigahertz to let's suppose 3 gigahertz. Like this, it is coming in the ranges. Okay, speed of your processor, it is coming in range like this. Okay, 1.40 gigahertz to 3.40 gigahertz or 3 gigahertz, whatever. Hana. So that is the thing. Then fourth thing, then you check the family, or uh, then you can check your family. Okay, that is the thing. Family means i3, i5, i7, whatever. Okay, i3, okay, i5. I'm just writing as a comma only, i5, etc. Okay. So what happens? How we decide a processor? How we check a processor configuration? How? So by first of all, need to see the series. Okay, whether it is U, P, H, or HX. Second thing, we need to check the generation here. Okay, which generation processor is that? If suppose the 14th generation processor is there, so 14th generation it is better than 13. 14th generation it is better than 13th generation. Okay. Then speed. So it is speed. How much? As if suppose your speed of your processor, it is more than 5 gigahertz. So it is a very like what top end processor. Top end one. Top end. Okay. Top end means very high performance. Especially when we are having a gaming laptop, na. So in that processor, we check the base speed of the like what the max speed. So that is your more than 5 gigahertz. So that is a very good, okay, very good speed. And family it is suggested to check at the last only. Okay, whether it is i3, i5, i7, whatever. Why I'm saying why to choose the family at the last? Why? Because we can understand by an example. See, for suppose I'm writing two processor here. Let's suppose I'm writing here i5. Okay, i5 I'm writing here. Then 1335 U I'm writing here. Okay, so this is okay, i5 1335U. And on the other side, we are having i3. Okay, i3 1420. Okay, let's suppose 12420H. Okay, now, so can you tell me like which processor is providing better performance here? Which
H
processor?
series.
H series, exactly. H series. Why? Because H series it is for high performance. Okay, H series. It is a H series processor and it is a U series. See, it is i3 and i5. So i5 it is better than i3. Okay, i5 is better than i3. But still we have the series here. Here it is H series and here it is U series. So when it comes to performance, when we have to differentiate both the processor, we have to on the like what, right, on performance. Okay. So our criteria is performance here. So then which processor will be providing better performance? Always H series one. Okay. Whether it is still like what, even it is i3 and it is i5, then also. Okay. Now here the second thing, it is, you can see the generation here. It is 13th generation. Okay. And it is 12th generation only. So it is slightly old generation. It is old and it is new because it is 13th generation. And it is 12th generation. Then also it will provide better performance. Then also it will provide better performance. Okay, we are having so many demerits. We are having so many demerits in this. It is i3, it is 12th generation, it is i5, it is 13th generation. But then also it will provide better performance. Why? Because H series. Okay, and H series always provide better performance. Okay, that is the concept. If suppose I make here U, okay, if I make U, then without any doubt, this will provide better performance. Okay. So always, that is why X series is recommended for high performance when you go for high performance. Okay. So that you need to always remember. Don't select the processor directly by seeing the family. And what mostly people do, they only see the family, like whether it is i3, i5 or whatever. If suppose I'm taking the same processor, let's suppose there is two i5 processor, i5. Okay. And it is, let's suppose 13420H. Now you can see, both are i5. This is also i5. This is also i5. It is also 13th generation. It is also 13th generation, right? But it is a like what, difference of like what, very very huge difference. Okay, so this will provide very good performance, very better, very far performance. Okay, so this processor will not provide as much the performance just like this processor can provide. Okay. So in this, what mostly people can do, that only see they will i5 and 13th generation. It is also i5 13th generation. So they will like they will see like both the processors are same only, but though both the processors are not same. Okay, it is for heavy end tasks and it is for low end tasks. Okay, that is the main difference here. Okay, till much this much is clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So this also I was talking about the like what, Intel. So in the Ryzen also we have the same things. If I show you the Ryzen one, so in the Ryzen also like same concepts. Okay. So little bit different is there in the Ryzen, because in the Ryzen we have so many series. Like what, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000 series are there. Okay. See, if you see a Ryzen processor written like this, 7540U, always Ryzen processor are written like this. Like suppose it is written as Ryzen 5, okay, 7540U, like this. Okay, so this kind of name you will see in the Ryzen processor. So what is the meaning of this whole number here? So I have written over here, you can see. Okay, so first number represents the series, everyone. Okay, the first number, this 7 representing the series, 7,000, 6,000, 5,000. Simple concept. As higher the series is there, that much better performance you will get. Okay. Then we have segment, like this is your the second number represent the like what, family. Family or the segment, you can say, just like in the Intel we are having i3, i7, i9, whatever. So in the Ryzen also we are having Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, Ryzen 9. So the second number represent like which family it belong to. It is a Ryzen 5. 5 means it is a Ryzen 5. Okay. Then we have this like third number that represents your architecture. Okay, like on what architecture this processor it is developed or it is built. So as much higher the architecture value is there, okay, If suppose 4 is there, so if 5 is there, so that will be better than 4. Okay, 5 architecture like. Okay, then we have the last number 0. So in the Ryzen processor, either you will see 0, either you will see 5 in the last number. Okay, if 5 is there, that is better performance. Obviously, 5 is better than 0. Okay, and at last you will see this U. So U or P or H, everything is like the series at the last. Okay, whether it will be U, P, HS or HX or H, anyone. Okay, so that is how we decide here in the Ryzen. Okay, so the thing is, the concept what I want to say everyone, that it is not like the Ryzen processor is better or the AMD like what, or the Intel processor is better. We cannot say like this. Okay, always we need to check the specification. We need to check the configuration of the processor. Then only we can decide that it is a better one, it is a good one, or it is a bad one. Okay, for an example, if I'm writing here, i3, 420. Okay, let's suppose 12420H. Okay, i3 12420H I have taken here. Okay, and let's suppose the other side we are taking a Ryzen processor. Let's suppose Ryzen 3, and let's suppose we are taking the same number 74754. Okay, let's suppose 5 we are taking here. Okay, 5U. So now, like, you are given two options. Okay, you have one option as i3, you have one option as Ryzen. So can you tell me, like, which processor will provide better performance here?
H.
H,
I3
exactly.
for I3.
I3 one, exactly. So here I3 is better. Here I3 is better. But if suppose I'm writing here like I3, if suppose I make here, let's suppose U, I make here U, and here if I make H, then which processor will provide better performance here?
Ryzen 3.
Ryzen 3. Ryzen 3, exactly. Ryzen 3. Okay. So overall performance, if you see, Ryzen 3 will provide better because it is a series. Okay. So performance, if you want to check the performance, then there also we're having so many criteria: single core performance, multi-core performance. Okay. So if you see, like in the H series one, mostly what happens, the multi-core performance are greater than the U series. Okay, in the H series. Okay, that is the thing here. But in some of the U series, you can find out that single core performance is better than the H series also. Okay, but that doesn't mean that this U series can provide better performance than H series. Okay, always H series will have like what? Always better performance than U. That is the concept, because U series are developed for low end task only, na, for more battery. So if you see a normal like what IT person or a corporate user, so they always opt for the U series because they don't have to do any heavy end tasks. No? They want battery life. They want more battery life because they have to work on the Excel or normal web browsing. They have to do. They have to work on the websites. So they always opt for U series because they don't want S series. Because if you are having the S series, the disadvantage of H series is that you will be having very less battery life. Okay, you have to put the charge on. You have to put on charge every time to time, right? That is the greater demerit or disadvantage in the H series one, because high power consumption is there in the H series. Okay, yeah. So these things you need to check it here. The speed generations series family. See, if you go to the task manager here, and if I show you some of the technical details here in the task manager, we can easily check. Okay, see, if you go to task manager, and how to open the task manager, we have the shortcut keys here: control. Let me write it here. That is the shortcut keys to open the task manager is control shift plus escape. Okay, it is T. Okay, control shift plus escape. This is a shortcut key to open the task manager. So when you will open the task manager, now you will see all your device configuration here. Okay, processor, Okay, your memory, your RAM, your SSD, your graphics card, everything you can check it here. So if you see your CPU, this is our processor, you can see. So this processor, it is basically, it is a Intel Core newly launched processor. That is, it is actually a 14th generation. It is actually 14th generation. It is written as Intel Core series. Nowadays it is coming here, but so actually it is a 14th generation, and you can see the series here. It is a U series. U series. So it is not that much powerful. Okay. Designed for low-end tasks only. Okay. Some like what little bit gaming we can do here, but not that much. Okay. Some details you can see here. The base speed you can see, everyone. I told now that speed you need to check. Base speed means the minimum speed we will get in this processor. Minimum guaranteed speed. Minimum guaranteed speed. That is your base speed. Okay, that is your base speed. So minimum speed so we will get it. This much the minimum we should get here. Okay, that is your speed here. So it can range from 1 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz. And if you have more than 5 gigahertz in your laptop or in your device, so that means it is a very good processor. Okay, very powerful. Okay, so here you can see the how much speed we are getting here. That is your okay. This is fluctuating. Right? So I told like based on the performance, like if suppose you are doing gaming here, if suppose you are running so many applications, you are doing multitasking, then this speed will increase. Okay, right now we are not doing so much of task. We are some running some basic applications here, very small application. So that is why very minimum speed we are getting here. Okay, but when I will run some heavy applications, then this speed will increase here. Okay. After that, there is very important concept of cores, everyone. Cores. So what are cores, everyone? Can you tell me, anyone? What are cores? Yeah, everyone. Tell me like what are cores in a processor?
No idea, sir.
No idea. Okay. Anyone? Any idea?
No, sir.
No one? Okay.
मे बी कोर को 10 कोर है तो उसमें से शायद डिवाइड होता होगा कि एएलयू के लिए इतना यूज हो सकता है.
हम्म. हाँ नहीं थोड़ा बहुत वैसे ही कॉन्सेप्ट है. सी.
Okay.
हाँ कोर. सी व्हाट इज अ कोर ना लाइक कोर इट इज अ डिवीजन है ना. मतलब एक प्रोसेसर को मल्टीपल कोर्स में डिवाइड किया जाता है. ओके. वन प्रोसेसर इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू मल्टीपल कोर्स. Now it can be 6 cores, it can be 7 cores, 8 core, 10 core, 12 cores, 13 cores, 14 cores. Okay. So as much of a core you are having, जितना कोर यहाँ पे ज्यादा होता है उतना बेहतर मल्टीटास्किंग होता है, उतना बेहतर परफॉर्मेंस होता है. ठीक है. As much your
Sir,
core
in
will
my
be like
laptop there
number
is
of
only two cores, sir.
2 cores. That means
Uh,
okay, that is your I
Sir, I
think
have
then it is your
yeah.
very old laptop, no?
Okay, sir, i5 seventh generation.
7th generation. Okay. So if suppose it is 2 core, then like it is not that much multitasking you can do. It is, but very like in the old laptops we were having this very 2 cores or 3 cores or 4 cores. Nowadays, if you go to purchase na, if nowadays if you go to purchase a laptop, so easily you will get like what 8 cores, minimum 8 cores, so you will get easily. Okay. So what is the concept of cores that whenever when you do multitasking, okay, so each and every task is assigned to a single core. Like suppose one core will handle like from the 8 cores, one core will handle your gaming. Okay. One core. Okay. One core will handle your gaming task. Suppose you are playing game, so it will be assigned to one core. Then second thing, okay, then second core you are having second core. Okay, so when you are running some like what web browser, so that web browser process will be assigned to the second core. Browsing. दैट मीन्स कि जो एक एक टास्क हो रहा है ना, एक एक प्रोसेस सब एक एक कोर को असाइन किया जा रहा है. ठीक है. तो एक कोर ऐसा नहीं है कि एक ही प्रोसेस को कर सकता है, एक कोर मल्टीपल प्रोसेस को एग्जीक्यूट कर सकता है. ओके, वन कोर कैन एग्जीक्यूट मल्टीपल प्रोसेस। यहाँ पर मैंने बस एग्जांपल लेके आपको एक्सप्लेन किया है कि एक कोर क्या कर रहा है, एक प्रोसेस को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है। मतलब कोई भी एप्लीकेशन हम लोग रन करते हैं ना, कुछ भी प्रोग्राम रन कर रहे हैं कुछ भी, तो उसको हम लोग प्रोसेस बोलते हैं, प्रोसेस। ओके, जैसे यहाँ पे हमारे डिवाइस में, लेट्स सपोज इन दिस डिवाइस आवर वी आर हैविंग सो मेनी प्रोसेसेस। प्रोसेस टैब में जाएंगे ना, तो यहाँ पे इतने सारे प्रोसेस दिख जाएंगे, ये सारे को हम लोग प्रोसेस बोल रहे हैं। बेसिक क्या है, एप्लीकेशन है, ये सारे क्या है, एप्लीकेशन है। नोटपैड है, देन व्हाइट बोर्ड, गूगल क्रोम, एंड ये सारे बैकग्राउंड प्रोसेस है। तो ये क्या है, प्रोसेस है बेसिकली, ठीक है। तो ये सारा प्रोसेस को कौन हैंडल करता है, कोर, ठीक है। अब जितना ज्यादा कोर होगा उतने ज्यादा प्रोसेस को हम लोग एफिशिएंटली रन कर सकेंगे, ठीक है, जितना कोर्स होगा। दैट मीन्स कि जितना ज्यादा कोर्स होगा उतने उतने अच्छे से हम लोग मल्टीटास्किंग कर सकेंगे। ओके, एज मच योर कोर्स नंबर इज हाई, दैट मच बेटर मल्टीटास्किंग यू कैन डू। ओके, दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट। नाउ इन द कोर्स वी आर हैविंग टू टाइप्स ऑफ कोर्स। कोर्स में भी दो तरह का कोर होता है एवरीवन, ठीक है। तो कोर्स में दो तरह का क्या कोर्स होता है, व्हाट टाइप कोर्स आर देयर। one is your e-course, okay, one is your e-course, e-course, and second is your p-course, p-course। दो तरह का कोर होता है, ठीक है, e-course, p-course। अब e-course जो होता है ना, ओके जस्ट अ मोमेंट एवरीवन। हाँ सी, व्हाट इज सेड दैट कि यहाँ पे दो तरह का कोर होता है, एक होता है e-core, e-core एंड p-core। दो तरह के कोर्स होते हैं, ठीक है। तो e-core मीन्स एवरीवन एफिशिएंसी, e-course स्टैंड फॉर एफिशिएंसी कोर्स, efficiency course, okay, and P course is stand for performance course, performance. Like means what? When we are doing some performance related task, like suppose we are playing game, okay, when we are doing gaming, so gaming will be assigned to the P course, okay, gaming, gaming task. This is a process, okay, gaming is a process, so this process will be assigned to P course। मतलब ये जो हम लोग गेम खेल रहे हैं, तो गेम जो ये जो प्रोसेस हो रहा है, ये जो एप्लीकेशन रन कर रहा है, हमारा गेम रन कर रहा है, तो गेम किसको असाइन होगा, पी कोर को असाइन किया जाएगा परफॉर्मेंस के लिए, ठीक है। बट लेट्स सपोज वी आर रनिंग सम नॉर्मल एप्लीकेशन, है ना, नॉर्मल, लेट्स सपोज वी आर रनिंग सम एमएस ऑफिस एप्लीकेशन, एमएस ऑफिस, लेट्स सपोज वी आर रनिंग एमएस वर्ड, ओके। तो दैट इट इज अ लाइट वेट प्रोसेस, ओके। ये क्या है, एक लाइट वेट प्रोसेस है, उतना ज्यादा यहाँ पे परफॉर्मेंस का नीड नहीं है हमें। तो ये किसको असाइन किया जाएगा, ये ई कोर्स को असाइन किया जाएगा। Okay, that means performance focused task will be assigned to the P course, and some little low end task or like low performance task will be assigned to the E course, है ना। तो वो सारे लो एंड टास्क को E course हैंडल करता है। तो इन अ प्रोसेसर, इफ सपोज यू आर हैविंग मोर नंबर ऑफ P course, ओके, इन अ प्रोसेसर आपके पास अगर P course का नंबर ज्यादा है, दैट मीन्स इट इज अ परफॉर्मेंस फोकस्ड प्रोसेसर। एंड अगर ई कोर्स का नंबर ज्यादा है, दैट मीन्स इट इज एफिशिएंसी फोकस्ड प्रोसेसर। ओके, तो मोस्टली क्या होता है, यू सीरीज के जो प्रोसेसर होते हैं, इन द यू सीरीज के जो प्रोसेसर है, यहाँ पे ई कोर्स ज्यादा होता है, ठीक है। इन द यू सीरीज वी हैव मोर नंबर ऑफ ई कोर्स, मोर ई कोर्स, ओके, एंड लेस पी कोर्स, लेस पी कोर्स। बट इन द एच सीरीज इट इज जस्ट अपोजिट। In the H series, we have more P course, less E course. For an example, here it is my U series. You can see it is my U series. Okay. And how many course I am having here? Total 10 course. Total 10 course I am having here. Okay. So in this total 10 course, I am having total 6 E course. Okay. 6 E course and 4 P course. Okay. But if suppose there is the H series, so this scenario will be just opposite. If suppose in the H series, H in H series, if there are 10 cores, then what will happen? In the H series, okay, 4 number of E cores, 4 E cores, and 6 P cores, like this. Okay. So in the H series processor, everyone always P cores are greater. Okay. That is the thing. So that is the concept of cores. And so always when we go to choose a processor, always we see the number of cores, like how much of cores are there. So as much high the number of cores you are having, that much of better performance and multitasking. Okay. All right. So that is your thing here. Some of the things you can see the utilization here, like how much of CPU is getting utilized. हमारा जो processor है वो कितना यहाँ पे यूटिलाइज हो रहा है, कितना परसेंट. अगर टोटल 100% यूटिलाइज हो जाएगा दैट मीन्स तो हमारा जो प्रोसेसर का जितना पावर है, जितना लाइक व्हाट उसका क्षमता है ना, ये प्रोसेसर का उतना यहाँ पे यूटिलाइज हो रहा है 100% का मतलब. बड़े फिर 21% मतलब कि लाइक थोड़ा बहुत यहाँ पे यूज हो रहा है क्योंकि हम लोग उतने ज्यादा एप्लीकेशन यहाँ पे अभी रन नहीं कर रहे हैं, उतने ज्यादा हैवी एंड टास्क को यूज लाइक व्हाट रन नहीं करे. अगर यहाँ पे लेट्स सपोज आई ओपन अ गेम हियर, लाइक सपोज मैं यहाँ पे कोई गेम वगैरह रन कर देता हूँ, ठीक है, और थोड़ा सा हेवी गेम जैसे GTA 5 वगैरह हो गया, तो इसमें क्या होगा कि जो यूटिलाइजेशन होगा वो बढ़ जाएगा इसमें, है ना. 50%, 60%, 70% इस तरह से यूटिलाइजेशन बढ़ जाएगा. और अगर यूटिलाइजेशन बढ़ता है ना, तो उस टाइम पे हम लोग मल्टीटास्किंग उतने अच्छे से नहीं कर सकते. आप उतने अगर आपने बहुत सारे एप्लीकेशन को रन किया हुआ है एंड आपका यूटिलाइजेशन आपका 80 to 90% है या 90% से भी ज्यादा है, तो उस टाइम देखिएगा कि आपका डिवाइस में थोड़ा सा आपको लैग इश्यू देखने को मिल सकता है. आप एक विंडो से दूसरे विंडो पे स्विच कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा सा वहां लैग हो रहा है ना. जो विंडो ओपन हो, कोई ऐप ओपन होने में टाइम लग रहा है, तो ये सारा नॉर्मल प्रॉब्लम्स है जब भी यूटिलाइजेशन यहाँ पे ज्यादा होता है एक सीपीयू का. ओके. यूटिलाइजेशन ज्यादा नहीं है तब इजिली रन करेगा, भी स्मूथली सारी चीजें रन करेंगी, ओके, एफिशिएंटली. बट इफ सपोज यूटिलाइजेशन इज हाई, देन योर डिवाइस में लैग, ओके, लैगिंग इश्यूज. So that is the concept for the CPU. Okay. Okay. Clear everyone? This much is clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Clear? ठीक है. Okay. Now हम लोग यहाँ पे डिस्कस कर लेते हैं ऑल ऑफ यू कुछ और भी कंपोनेंट्स के बारे में. ठीक है. मेमोरी के बारे में डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. लेट्स सपोज हियर विल बी हैविंग डिस्कशन ऑन मेमोरी. तो बताइए एवरीवन कितने टाइप्स के मेमोरी होते हैं? हाउ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ मेमोरी आर देयर?
RAM, ROM, STD,
हाँ, रैम
SSD,
रोम इट इज द टाइप ऑफ मेमोरी. हाँ,
SDD, SSD,
एसडीडी, एसएसडी, ओके.
flash
ओके, व्हाट
memory,
एल्स? फ्लैश मेमोरी, ओके. हम्म.
Volatile, non-volatile.
Volatile and non-volatile. Okay. Now there we have a new term. But what exactly? Volatile and non-volatile, it is not a type of memory. Basically, it is a term that we are using to identify a memory here. Okay. We'll be discussing what is a volatile and non-volatile. But in memory, mostly two types. You must have heard about. आप लोगों ने ये term के बारे में
Primary
सुना
memory
होगा.
and secondary memory.
Exactly. पहले हम लोग इसी टर्म पे डिफरेंशिएट करते हैं, प्राइमरी मेमोरी और सेकेंडरी मेमोरी. ओके. एक कंप्यूटर के अंदर प्राइमरी मेमोरी, सेकेंडरी मेमोरी दोनों रहता है. ठीक है. प्राइमरी भी रहेगा, सेकेंडरी भी रहेगा. तो प्राइमरी मेमोरी में कौन कौन से टाइप्स के मेमोरी आते हैं? इन विच इन प्राइमरी मेमोरी व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मेमोरीज वी आर हैविंग? तो प्राइमरी मेमोरी में जैसे एवरीवन रैम, ओके, रोम. तो ये दो टाइप होता है प्राइमरी मेमोरी का. ठीक है. प्राइमरी मेमोरी के बस दो ही टाइप है, रैम एंड रोम. ठीक है. इसमें आपका रजिस्टर वगैरह भी आएगा, जैसे रजिस्टर हो गया, है ना, रजिस्टर. और यहाँ पे कैचे मेमोरी, ये सारे भी क्या है? प्राइमरी मेमोरी ही है. ओके. बट रजिस्टर और कैचे मेमोरी जो होता है लाइक वोट ये यूज नहीं होता है, रोम भी यूज नहीं होता है, इसको भी डिस्कस करते हैं. बट ये सारे क्या हो गए? प्राइमरी मेमोरी. सेकेंडरी मेमोरी में क्या होता है? व्हाट आर द मेमोरीज इन द सेकेंडरी मेमोरी? बताइए. एसएसडी, ओके, एचडीडी, है ना. देन और क्या क्या होता है एवरीवन? पेन ड्राइव हो गया, है ना, पेन ड्राइव. और क्या हो गया? माइक्रो एसडी, माइक्रो एसडी कार्ड. है ना,
DVD
फ्लॉपी
store.
डिस्क, हाँ डीवीडी ड्राइव, हाँ फ्लॉपी फ्लॉपी डिस्क, डीवीडी डीवीडी ड्राइव, है ना। तो ये सारे हो गए लाइक व्हाट सेकेंडरी मेमोरी। सेकेंडरी मेमोरी का मतलब जो एक्सटर्नल हम लोग यहाँ पे कंप्यूटर के अंदर इंसर्ट कर रहे हैं, एक्सटर्नल, ओके, वो कंप्यूटर में इनबिल्ट नहीं है, वो एक्सटर्नल यूज किया जा रहा है, ओके। सी एवरीवन, अब यहाँ पे एक इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट है, देयर इज वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग हियर। क्या रोम और एसएसडी क्या सेम होता है? इज रोम और एसएसडी और एसडीडी है, एसएसडी और एसडीडी दोनों में से कोई सा भी बोल लेते हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है। क्या दोनों सेम है?
No, sir.
इज इज रोम एंड एसएसडी
No, sir.
सेम? नो। How many people say no? How many say yes?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Exactly. ROM और SSD हो या HDD हो, सेम नहीं होता है। मोस्टली क्या करते हैं हम लोग पीपल कि SSD को ही ROM समझते हैं, है ना। लाइक में ऐसा बोला जाता है कि रोम रैम हो गया 4 GB, या जैसे कोई लैपटॉप को कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है तो 8 to 56 GB है ना, 8 GB रैम एंड 256 GB स्टोरेज, तो उसको ऐसा रॉम एंड रोम कंसिडर कर लिया जाता है, बट ऐसा होता नहीं है, ठीक है। रोम जो होता है वो सेम नहीं होता है। एसएसडी जो है एक सेकेंडरी मेमोरी है, रोम जो है वो प्राइमरी मेमोरी होता है। रोम जो होता है ना एक कंप्यूटर के अंदर, ठीक है, ये बहुत ही छोटे साइज में अवेलेबल रहता है, लाइक वेरी स्मॉल साइज। तो रोम इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड अ कंप्यूटर इन अ वेरी स्मॉल साइज, लाइक इन केबी, केबी में होता है साइज रोम का, ओके। तब उसमें क्या क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन स्टोर रहता है? बेसिकली आप रोम को हम लोग यूज नहीं करते हैं उसको अपना डेटा स्टोर करने के लिए। कोई भी इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन है लाइक हमारा जो पर्सनल डेटा है उसको स्टोर नहीं करते रोम में। रोम के अंदर कुछ लाइक व्हाट ऐसा इन्फॉर्मेशन स्टोर रहता है जो हम लोग चेंज नहीं कर सकते, जैसे मैन्युफैक्चरर का डिटेल्स रहता है, जो भी आपके कंपनी का लैपटॉप है वो सारा उसका डिटेल्स स्टोर रहेगा। तो हार्डवेयर से रिलेटेड या आपके लैपटॉप से रिलेटेड या आपके कंप्यूटर से रिलेटेड जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है वो सारा रोम में स्टोर रहेगा, एंड वी कैन नॉट डिलीट, उसको हम लोग डिलीट नहीं कर सकते, वो डेटा को हम लोग एक्सेस ही नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है, वी कैन नॉट एक्सेस। तो वो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन जो रहता है वो रोम में रहता है, एंड उसका हार्डली जो साइज होता है रोम का, हार्डली हो सकता है 1 या 2 MB का होगा, हार्डली एमबी में जाता है, बट मोस्टली केबी में रहता है रोम का साइज, ओके। तो ऑलवेज रोम इज नॉट एसएसडी, रोम इज नॉट एसएसडी, ये याद रखना है, ठीक है। एसएसडी क्या होता है? एक सेकेंडरी मेमोरी है, एसएसडी हो गया, एचडीडी हो गया, ये सारे जो जैसे एक लैपटॉप के अंदर 256 GB का एसएसडी कार्ड लगा हुआ है, 512 GB का एसएसडी है, या 1 TB का एचडीडी है, ये सारे सेकेंडरी मेमोरीज है, ओके। ये कॉन्सेप्ट। हाँ, अब एक कॉन्सेप्ट था कि वोलाटाइल मेमोरी एंड नॉन वोलाटाइल मेमोरी। तो वोलाटाइल मेमोरी किसे हम लोग बोलते हैं? तो वोलाटाइल मेमोरी हम लोग बोलते हैं रैम को, ठीक है, volatile. Why we are saying RAM as a volatile memory? Why? Because RAM के अंदर जो डेटा स्टोर होता है वो टेम्पररी डेटा रहता है, टेम्पररी, ओके, टेम्पररी डेटा, परमानेंट स्टोर नहीं होता है, ठीक है। परमानेंट क्यों नहीं होता है? क्योंकि जैसे आपका यहाँ पे पावर कट होगा, जैसे इसको इलेक्ट्रिक सिग्नल मिलना बंद होगा, तो जो भी डेटा इसके अंदर स्टोर है वो इरेज हो जाएगा, ठीक है। जैसे यहाँ पे पावर कट हुआ, डेटा जो भी था हमारा डेटा, टेम्पररी डेटा था, वो स्टोर हो गया, इसीलिए इसको टेम्पररी बोला जाता है। बट रोम हो गया, रोम, रोम को हम लोग बोलते हैं नॉन वोलेटाइल, ठीक है, नॉन वोलेटाइल। रोम हो गया या एसएसडी हो गया, इनको क्या बोला जाता है? नॉन वोलेटाइल मेमोरी, ठीक है, दिस इज नॉन वोलेटाइल। नॉन वोलेटाइल मेमोरी, व्हाई वी आर सेइंग नॉन वोलेटाइल? बिकॉज यहाँ पे जो डेटा स्टोर हो रहा है ना रोम में, तो वो डेटा स्टोर होता है परमानेंट, परमानेंट, ओके। तो एक बार यहाँ पे डेटा स्टोर हो गया, तो जब तक हम लोग उसको डिलीट नहीं करेंगे तब तक डिलीट नहीं होगा, चाहे पावर कट हो या कुछ भी हो। एक बार डेटा स्टोर हुआ तो वो परमानेंट रहेगा लाइफ टाइम के लिए, जब तक डिलीट नहीं होगा या जब तक उसमें कोई मेमोरी में करप्शन नहीं आएगा, ओके। तो इट स्टोर्स द डेटा परमानेंटली, रोम, एसएसडी, एचडीडी, ये सारे, तो ये सारे डेटा को परमानेंटली होल्ड करते हैं। यहाँ पे कोई ऐसा कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है कि अगर पावर कट होगा तो डेटा इरेज होगा।
So,
ठीक है, तो हाँ बताइए।
where does the CMOS battery falls into, primary or secondary?
Okay, CMOS battery, it can be a secondary. Okay, secondary storage. Okay, the CMOS battery में actual होता है क्या? CMOS battery, it is a battery है ना, it is a type of battery. It is not storing the information. It is just giving the power. Okay, but CMOS जो BIOS का जो storage होता है, ठीक है, we can say that is a secondary memory because उसमें data permanently store रहता है। जो भी BIOS information है वो आपको automatic erase नहीं होता है। ठीक है, तो वो सेकेंडरी का टाइप हो जाएगा। ओके, मतलब सेकेंडरी इन द सेंस क्या, नॉन वोलाटाइल टाइप होगा, नॉन वोलाटाइल। ओके, क्योंकि उसमें डेटा परमानेंटली रहता है। जो बायोस के सेटिंग्स आपने एक बार अपडेट कर दिया तो वो अपडेटेड ही रहता है, वो अपने आप लाइक वो चेंज नहीं होता है। ओके, हम लोग खुद से बायोस को अपडेट करते हैं तब जाके फिर उसका जो इन्फॉर्मेशन होता है वो अपडेट होता है। ओके, सो दैट इज अ काइंड ऑफ नॉन वोलाटाइल मेमोरी। ओके, हाँ, बैटरी इज नॉट अ मेमोरी। सीमोस बैटरी जो होता है उससे तो पावर मिलता है ना। सीमोस बैटरी, इट इज अ बैटरी। तो
Oh.
ये बस सीमोस बायोस को बैटरी पावर प्रोवाइड करने के लिए होता है। ओके, हाँ, सही। सो रैम इज अ वोलेटाइल मेमोरी, वी नो एवरीवन, है ना। अब यहाँ पे रैम में क्या इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर होता है? तो रैम में हम लोग वो सारा इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर होता है जो रनिंग एप्लीकेशन है, रनिंग प्रोसेस, रनिंग प्रोसेस। रनिंग प्रोसेस का मतलब एवरीवन, कोई एप्लीकेशन अभी हम लोगों ने खोला हुआ है, ठीक है, कोई एप्लीकेशन रन कर रहा है। जैसे मैंने अभी नोटपैड को रन किया हुआ है, नोटपैड। तो अभी मैंने ये सारा जो यहाँ पे टेक्स्ट लिखा है ना, ये सारा टेक्स्ट लिखा है मैंने, तो ये सारा कहाँ पे स्टोर्ड है? अभी रैम में स्टोर्ड है, रैम में। ठीक है, अभी मैंने इसको सेव नहीं किया है। जब तक इसको सेव नहीं करेंगे तब तक ये रैम में ही स्टोर्ड रहेगा। जैसे इसको सेव कर देते हैं, ठीक है, यहाँ पे जाएंगे हम लोग फाइल में और यहाँ से इसको सेव कर देते हैं। तो जैसे सेव करेंगे तो वो चला जाएगा हमारे एसएसडी में। ठीक है, तब वो परमानेंटली स्टोर होगा। बट इसको बिना सेव किए क्या करते हैं, इसको एप्लीकेशन को क्लोज कर देते हैं, ठीक है, बंद कर देंगे। तो वो क्या होगा, वो सारा इरेज हो जाएगा। ये सारा जो मैंने टेक्स्ट लिखा है यहाँ पे सारा खत्म। ओके, एवरीथिंग विल बी इरेज्ड। तो दैट इज वाई कि रैम के अंदर जो भी रनिंग प्रोसेस होता है ना, जो करंट में आपका रनिंग चल रहा है, जो एप्लीकेशन जो एग्जैक्ट एट दिस मोमेंट में रन कर रहे हैं, तो वो सारा जो उनका इन्फॉर्मेशन होता है, जो सारा डेटा होता है, वो रैम में स्टोर रहता है। ये तो बेसिक चीज है। आई होप यू यू गाइस नो दिस थिंग, है ना। तो या ये चीज है ना। एंड अगर उसको जैसे अगर मान लेते हैं कोई पीपीटी वगैरह बनाते हैं ना, पीपीटी वगैरह क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, तो पीपीटी जब तक आपने क्रिएट किया, ठीक है, जब तक आपने उसको सेव नहीं किया तब तक वो रैम में स्टोर रहता है। बट फॉर सपोज कि आपका लेट्स सपोज पीसी में काम कर रहे हैं, पीसी कंप्यूटर, ठीक है, पीसी में हम लोग वर्क कर रहे हैं। अब पीसी क्या होता है, ये बैटरी पावर तो होता नहीं है, ये तो डायरेक्ट पावर सोर्स से पावर किया जाता है ना, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पे चलता है डायरेक्ट। तो अगर फॉर सपोज कि आप पीसी में एक पीपीटी बना रहे हैं, पीपीटी, आज क्या होता है कि पावर कट हो जाता है, पावर कट, तो आपका पीसी बंद हो गया, राइट, ऑफ, टोटल ऑफ। तो उसके बाद अगर दोबारा से आप पीसी को ओपन कीजिएगा तो क्या आपको वहां पे पीपीटी आपका बना हुआ दिखेगा कि नहीं दिखेगा? नहीं दिखेगा ना, नहीं दिखेगा, सारा कुछ इरेज हो जाएगा। क्योंकि
Yes,
वो
sir.
मैंने सेव ही नहीं किया था ना, मैंने इसको सेव नहीं किया था। सेव नहीं किया था मतलब वो रैम में स्टोर था, रैम में स्टोर है मतलब जैसे पावर कट, जैसे पावर खत्म, सारा डेटा इरेज। ओके, तो वो कॉन्सेप्ट होता है रैम का। तो रैम बेसिकली रनिंग प्रोसेस को स्टोर करता है, ये याद रखिएगा, ठीक है। अब यहाँ पे हम लोग बात करते हैं एसएसडी। तो यहाँ पे जो दो मेजर चीज है, एक लैपटॉप का जिस परफॉर्मेंस जिस पे डिपेंड करता है वो आपका रैम एंड एसएसडी, एसएसडी या जो एचडीडी। देखिए एचडीडी आजकल यूज नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है, एचडीडी ये यूज नहीं होता मोस्टली। क्या फुल फॉर्म बताइए एवरीवन, एसएसडी का फुल फॉर्म बताइए।
हार्ड डिस्क ड्राइव।
Solid state drive. Solid state drive.
हाँ,
Solid state drive, hard
हाँ
disk.
सॉलिड, हाँ सॉलिड स्टेट ड्राइव एंड हार्ड डिस्क ड्राइव, राइट।
Yes.
हाँ, सॉलिड स्टेट ड्राइव, ये फुल फॉर्म है। एंड एचडीडी, हार्ड डिस्क ड्राइव, ठीक है। देखिए एचडीडी आजकल यहाँ पे उतना ज्यादा यूज नहीं होता है क्योंकि एचडीडी का डिसएडवांटेज है। क्या डिसएडवांटेज है? इसका स्पीड जो होता है बहुत स्लो होता है, वेरी स्लो, वेरी स्लो स्पीड। स्पीड मतलब एवरीवन रीड एंड राइट स्पीड की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, रीड एंड राइट स्पीड। मतलब एचडीडी का जो रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग स्पीड होता है ना, बहुत स्लो होता है। मतलब इसको आप समझ सकते हैं कि अगर आपने इसमें बहुत बड़ा फाइल यहाँ पे आपने स्टोर कर लिया एंड आप उसको ओपन कीजिएगा ना, तो ओपन होने में टाइम लगेगा, बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा। फॉर सपोज 1 GB का मैंने एक यहाँ पे MP4 फाइल यहाँ पे स्टोर कर दिया एंड उसको ओपन करेंगे ना, तो एसएसडी में तुरंत ओपन हो जाता है, चाहे वो 1 GB का हो या 5 GB का, है ना। 5 GB का एक मूवी है, मैंने उसको ओपन किया तुरंत ओपन हो गया। बट एचडीडी में क्या हो रहा है, वो थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है उसमें, है ना। आप देखिएगा बहुत सारा फोटोज होता है जैसे हमारे स्टोरेज में, बहुत फोटोज है बहुत सारा, तो फोटोज को जैसे स्क्रॉल करते जाएंगे तो उसका जो थंबनेल आता है ना, वो थंबनेल आएगा ही नहीं, बहुत देर में आएगा, तो हमें पता नहीं चलेगा कौन सा फोटो है वो, राइट। बहुत देर में वो लोड लेता है, तो वो एक्चुअल में वो रीड एंड राइट स्पीड पे डिपेंड करता है हमारे स्टोरेज का। एंड एचडीडी में अगर इस चीज को हम लोग करते हैं तो वो बहुत टाइम लगेगा। एसएसडी में फास्ट होता है, तुरंत रीड एंड राइट स्पीड होता है, ठीक है। एसएसडी में लाइक तुरंत कुछ भी ओपन कर रहे हैं, क्लोज कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी फाइल को सेव कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी शेयर कर रहे हैं, वो जल्दी ही होता है, राइट। आप इसको आप लोगों ने एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा। स्टोरेज का रीड एंड राइट स्पीड कैसे आप लोग चेक कर सकते हैं, मतलब इसका एक प्रैक्टिकल कैसे होता है। फॉर सपोज आप लोगों ने मूवी वगैरह शेयर किया होगा अपने फ्रेंड से, है ना। जैसे एक एक स्मार्टफोन से दूसरे स्मार्टफोन पे मूवी शेयर करते हैं, है ना। आपने नोटिस किया होगा, आपने किसी एक फ्रेंड को आपने मूवी शेयर किया तो उसके स्मार्टफोन में बहुत जल्दी चला गया, है ना, बहुत जल्दी। बट किसी और के स्मार्टफोन में शेयर कर रहे हैं तो वो उसमें बहुत ही स्लो जा रहा है। क्यों स्लो जा रहा है, क्योंकि उसका जो जो उसका मेमोरी है, उसके स्मार्टफोन में जो स्टोरेज है, उसका रीड एंड राइट स्पीड बहुत स्लो है, तो वो जल्दी प्रोसेस नहीं कर पा रहा है चीजों को, इस वजह से स्लो जाता है। ओके, तो एक्चुअल में मेमोरी का जो रीड एंड राइट स्पीड है उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि कितना डेटा ट्रांसफर जो फास्ट होगा या स्लो होगा। ओके, बस ये चीज, ओके। ठीक है, अब यहाँ पे रैम की बात कर लेते हैं हम लोग। रैम में भी अलग अलग टाइप के आते हैं, लाइक अगर यहाँ पे हम लोग स्पेशली लैपटॉप में बात करें ना, देखिए कंप्यूटर में तो आपका एक ही टाइप का रैम आता है, पीसी की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। पीसी में एक ही तरह का रैम आएगा जो आपका डीडीआर रैम कहते हैं हम लोग, डीडीआर, ठीक है, डबल डेटा
Sir,
रेट। हाँ बताइए।
could you please explain in English?
ओके ओके, सॉरी, आई जस्ट फॉरगॉट, या no issue, no issue, I'll just explain English only. See, if you're talking about the RAM here, no? So in the PC, PC we are having mostly one type of RAM only, DDR RAM, that is your double data rate RAM. Okay. But in laptops, we have generally two types. Okay, in the laptops. Generally two types of RAMs are there, like one is your DDR and one is your LPDDR. You must have heard about this LPDDR, everyone. You must have heard about, like, these LPDDR RAMs are coming in the smartphone also. है ना?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, LPDDR
4
RAMs are
and
coming
5
in the
series.
smartphone. हाँ, exactly. The smartphones. Okay, but these RAMs are also coming in the laptops. Okay, LPDDR. So if you talk about in the laptop, mostly DDR and LPDDR RAMs are there. So if you're talking about like what kind of RAMs are there in the LPDDR and DDR also, we are having so many types. Okay, so many types. Just a second, let me share the text here. In the DDR, we are having DDR3, DDR4, DDR5, these many things. Okay, in the LPDDR, we have LPDDR4, LPDDR5, these things. Okay, so here if you see, you can check it out. These many types of RAMs are there. Mostly two types, LPDDR, DDR RAM. So in the LPDDR, we have LPDDR3, LPDDR, see LPDDR2, 1 is also there, but those are not used. Okay, if you talk about DDR3, DDR3 are also not used nowadays. Not used. Okay. In a very, like suppose, very low budget laptop, you can find DDR3, but not used as much like nowadays. Okay, because those are very slow RAM. Okay, DDR3 or LPDDR3, DDR2, very slow. Okay, not used nowadays. Nowadays, mostly you will find DDR4, or mostly you will find LPDDR4. So mostly started from here nowadays. Okay. So many like what types are there? LPDDR3, LPDDR4, LPDDR4X, LPDDR5, 5X, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5, DDR5X is also there. Okay. If we talk about everyone, what is the major difference here? in the LPDDR and the DDR RAMs. So LPDDR RAMs are non-upgradable. Okay, LPDDR RAMs non-upgradable. Non-upgradable means you cannot upgrade. Okay, you cannot upgrade the RAM in your laptop if suppose you have LPDDR RAM. If suppose you have 8 GB, then for lifetime it will be 8 GB. You cannot make it 16 GB. You cannot upgrade to 16 GB or you cannot upgrade to 12 GB, whatever. You cannot upgrade if you have LPDDR. Okay, but if suppose you have DDR RAM, so DDR RAMs are upgradable. Okay, that means if suppose you are having right now 8 GB RAM, so then you can go to the market and you can tell the shopkeeper so that they can upgrade the RAM. So they will remove the 8 GB RAM and they will install a new RAM chip that will be of 16 GB. Okay, so in this manner you can upgrade. Okay, upgradation is possible here in the DDR RAM. Okay, always. So here I've written the same thing here that DDR RAMs, okay, LPDDR RAMs are non-upgradable. Okay, because why? Because these are soldered RAM. These are soldered on the motherboard. You cannot remove the LPDDR RAM. Okay, you cannot remove. But this DDR RAMs are upgradable. Okay, because these are not soldered. Okay, they are just installed or located within the slot. There is a slot where we insert the RAM. But in the case of LPDDR, these are soldered. We cannot remove it. Okay. So, like, how you can check whether your device is having a LPDDR or DDR RAM? How to check? Okay.
So the
How to check
manager.
whether
Task manager, sir.
exactly. We can check in the task manager. So how to check? Let me show you. In the when you will come to the task manager and when you will come to memory, this is our memory section here. This is our RAM here. RAM configuration. Everything we can check it here. Now we need to check one thing here. We need to check the slot used. Slots used, as you can see here. Slots used. Okay. So here, if suppose the slots used is written one of two. Okay. If slots used is written as one of two. Okay, or two of two. Like this. So that is your DDR RAM. DDR. Okay. But if suppose it is written as 8 of 8 or 10 of 10, like this, that means it is a LPDDR RAM. LPDDR RAM. Okay. So here you can see it is written in my case, it is 8 of 8. So that means my RAM, it is a LPDDR RAM. Okay. What is the meaning of 1 of 2 or what is the meaning of 2 of 2? Everyone see. Meaning is very simple. That means you are having two slots. Okay. 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 means you are having two slots for RAM. In one slot, there is already you have installed a RAM. Okay. And one slot is vacant. But here, two slots of RAM are there and both the slots are filled. Okay. Both the slots you have installed the RAM. Okay. That is the concept. But in 8 of 8, that means that all the 8 slots are shouldered. Okay. Because in the RAM, you will see 8 small pins will be there. And all those 8 pins, okay, are shouldered basically. Okay. That is why we have here 8 of 8 or 10 of 10 or 6 of 6. Like if you see these kind of things, that means it is LPDDR RAM. If you see 1 of 2, 2 of 2 like this, that means it is a DDR RAM. Okay. Obvious. So if you see like which RAM is better, DDR RAM is a better or LPDDR RAM is better. Again, we cannot directly decide that which is the better RAM. Okay, in terms of performance or terms of speed. Always we need to check the speed. Okay, always. So if you see the basic difference between the DDR and the LPDDR, that is the first thing, that in the LPDDR RAMs are non-upgradable, but DDR RAMs are upgradable. Okay. LPDDR RAMs are efficiency focused, basically low power usage. Okay, and they generate very less amount of heat. So LPDDR RAMs are mostly found in the thin and light laptops. Okay, LPDDR RAMs are mostly found in thin and light laptops. Okay, because they generate very less heat. Okay, and they consume very less power. But DDR RAMs are core performance focused. Okay, performance focused processor. Oh, sorry, RAM. Okay, so they slightly generate higher, like more amount of heat. Okay, and they consume more power as well. Okay, now how to identify which is the better RAM? Always we cannot decide. We need to check the speed. Okay, speed of your RAM. So I am having a chart here over here. You can see always you can look at the chart here and you can decide which RAM is better one. Okay. So you can see RAM speed I have written here. What is the typical speed of DDR RAM and what is the typical speed of LPDDR RAMs? Here you can see. So different DDR version like DDR3. DDR3 is having 16,000 megahertz RAM, megahertz of speed. DDR4 is having this many speeds. DDR4 two times I've written. This will not be DDR3. Two types of DDR4X, you can say DDR4X. DDR4 30. Okay, this is DDR3. Wait a second. This is. Let me remove it. Wait. This is not the actual speed. DDR4 we can say like this is your actual speed. Okay. Yeah. So you can say everyone like these are the typical speeds. Okay. In the LPDDR we have this many speed here. Okay. And you can see the arrangement. Okay, arrangement of all the RAMs according to their speed. So DDR1 is having the lowest speed, 400 megahertz, but the DDR5X is having the highest speed. Okay. See, when you see the LPDDR RAM, the LPDDR RAM's speed are measured in mega transfer per second. Mega transfer per second. Okay. And DDR RAM's speed are measured in megahertz. Megahertz. Okay, actually both are same only, nothing, no difference. Okay, just a different unit. Okay, this is mega transfer per second, this is megahertz. So when you will see like what different speed here, you can see I have arranged all the RAMs according to the speed. So DDR1 is the lowest, DDR2 is slightly higher than this, then DDR3, then LPDDR3, then DDR3L, then 4, then LPDDR, then LPDDR4X. So for an example here, you can see if we compare the LPDDR, LPDDR4 and DDR4, so which one is providing better speed? So here you can compare the speeds. LPDDR4 is providing better speed, you can see. Okay. DDR4 and LPDDR both are equivalent, like, but slightly LPDDR4 is better because in the DDR4, some of the RAM can provide 2133 megahertz of speed also. Okay. That is why. Then in the, let's suppose DDR5, between DDR5 and LPDDR5. Which one is providing better speed? Everyone tell me. In DDR5 and LPDDR5.
LPDDR5, sir.
LPDDR5, exactly. You can see because you can compare the speed here. LPDDR5 range is 5500 to 6400, but DDR5 range is 4800 to 6400. Okay, so like here slightly LPDDR5 is providing better speed. But if you compare the DDR5X and LPDDR5X, DDR5X and LPDDR5X. So you can see the DDR5X is providing very good amount of speed. 8,000 plus, and 8,000 plus. But LPDDR5X is providing like what? 7,500 to 8,500. Okay. That is what your, so it is also 8,000 plus, but it is more. Okay. It is more. So in this manner, you can say everyone this arrangement of RAM I've given here. So you can always have a look here in the memory section. You can always check. And what is the ideal good? Okay, what speed is considered good? If suppose you are having more than 3,000 megahertz, 3,000 megahertz or mega transfer per second, whatever mega transfer per second. So that is considered good. Okay, good speed. If you have less than 3000, okay, less than 3000, that is not considered as very good speed. Okay, less than 3000. If suppose you are having higher than 3000, that is considered ideal. Okay, good. Like okay, very good. Okay, but if suppose you have more than 5000, more than 5000 megahertz, so that is the top notch. Okay, top end, or you can say it is coming in the top end more than 5000 or more than 6000. Okay, that is your like okay. So you can check the speed here. Okay, it will be written as, so it is written as 4267 mega transfer per second. Mega transfer per second, because it is my LPDDR RAM, so it is written as mega transfer per second. But if suppose you are seeing here megahertz in your device, that means you are having DDR RAM. Okay, so always it is required. So if you go for selecting a RAM here, so don't check the first of all capacity. First of all, check the speed. Okay, that what is the speed of your RAM? So that is very important. For an example, a DDR3 RAM. Okay, which RAM will provide better performance here? Can you tell me? Like suppose there we are having a 16 GB, 16 GB DDR4 RAM. Okay. On the other hand, we are having a, let's suppose 8 GB, 8 GB LPDDR5, LPDDR5. So which RAM will provide better performance or better speed, everyone?
LPDDR5, sir. LPDDR5.
Exactly, LPDDR5. Why? Because LPDDR5, it is 8 GB, but then also it will provide better performance, because you can compare the speed here. You can see in the LPDDR5 we are getting this amount of speed, but in the DDR4 we are getting this amount of speed. Okay, so capacity, it is there high capacity, it is having high capacity 16 GB, but it is 8 GB. But if you when it is covered, when it comes to performance, always the higher RAM will be providing better performance. Okay, so always checking the speed here. Okay, and then going for the capacity, whether it is 8 GB, 16 GB. Okay, that is what, because the RAM capacity also matters. Okay, depending on like if suppose you are going to run so many application. Okay, so every process will be stored in the RAM also, RAM only. Okay, so as much high your RAM capacity is there, better multitasking you can do. That is the concept. After that, we are having a SSD, everyone. Okay, concept of SSD. So in the SSD, it is very simple. Nowadays, HDDs are not used, only SSDs are used. Okay, so in the SSD, we are having generally two types. Okay, one is called as SATA SSD. Okay, and one is called your NVMe SSD. Okay, so nowadays NVMe SSDs are only used. SATA SSDs are not used. Okay, those are obsolete. So nowadays, if you see, SATA SSDs not available, only NVMe SSDs are like what used. Okay, mostly. SATA SSDs are having very less speed. Okay, very less read and write speed. Okay, you can see 400 to 550 MB per second speed of speed only. But if you see the NVMe SSD speed, it is way better. You can see minimum you are getting 1500 MB per second of speed in the SATA SSD. Okay. So here you can see like if suppose minimum read and write speed, what is the good? Okay, what is considered as good read and write speed? If suppose you have more than 5000, if suppose you have 5,000, so that is considered as good speed. Good speed. Okay, if suppose you have 3000 or less than 3000, so that is not considered as good. Okay, good speed. So that is the thing here. Now in the SSD also we are having one term as generation. In the processor also we have the generation, but in the SSD also we have generation. Okay, we say it as Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. So nowadays, like which this kind of generation, you also need to check like which generation you are having. If suppose it is written as NVMe SSD PCIe 3. So PCIe 3 means it is a Gen 3 SSD. PCIe 4 means it is a Gen 4 SSD. PCIe 5 means it is a Gen 5 SSD. Okay, so Gen 5 SSD, it will obviously provide better speed. okay, than a 4 or 3. So always you need to check the generation here. You can always check in the like what configuration. When you go to purchase a SSD, always it is written there. It is a PCI 3 or 4 or 5. So that represents your generation. So this is your SSD configuration here. Okay. And first of all, what we need to check? First thing we need to check, that is your read and write speed. Okay. Read and write speed. And second, you can go for the second, you check generation. And at last, you can check the capacity, whether it is a 512 GB, whether it is 256 GB, whether it is 1 TB, 2 TB, whatever. Okay. And same concept applies to the RAM as well. So in the RAM, we don't have the generation, only we have the speed and the capacity. Okay, in the RAM. And the type of RAM. Okay, whether it is a DDR, whether it is a LPDDR. So in the RAM, I'm also writing here, always you need to check. You need to. Okay. Here, first of all, type of RAM, speed of RAM, what speed you are getting here in the RAM, and third is your capacity of RAM. So that is the thing here. Okay. Okay. Clear, everyone? This thing is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that is all for today. Now, tomorrow we'll be discussing some more concepts related to GPU, ports, and peripherals. These many things tomorrow we'll discuss, and day after tomorrow we'll be starting the troubleshooting part. Okay.
Sir, can I take the screenshot?
Okay. Just wait. I'm just showing you. Yeah. So you can take it. I think it will be not visible. So first of all, take this much, everyone. Take this.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Okay. And then you take it from here. Okay, take this.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. Okay, then take it from here. This is your RAM speed, different types of RAM. You need to check in the RAM. Done. Okay. And then you take it from here. That is your SSD. Okay. SSD and types of SSD. Done. Take it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So that is all for today, everyone. Okay. So, okay then. So, yeah. So we'll be keeping the session for here today only. Okay. And we'll be meeting again tomorrow at the same time. Okay. So that is, I will be waiting for 10 minutes, everyone. Okay. And I will start the session sharply at 12:10. Okay. 12:10, I will start the session. Okay. So make sure you join before 10. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Okay. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a nice day. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Yeah.